Hello, 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 Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Nawtystep channel, and today I'm going to be doing a live review of the new compilation from Interval Audio, Fourth Interval. Here we are, another Interval compilation, a quick follow-up to Elan Vital Season 4, which came out just over a month ago, and, you know, not to draw a comparison or anything between this one and that one, different kinds of compilation, but that one, Elan Vital Season 4, was probably my favourite Interval comp so far, so a lot to live up to. Excited to get into it, another 22 bangers here, a selection of renowned names, some I haven't heard of before, and a load in between, which is always welcome. I'm hearing them all for the first time, I'm going to talk about them as they go on, and kind of summarise along the way, and I will spend a bit of time at the end after all 22, talking about the comp as a whole, so yeah, let's get to it. And first up here, we have Obsidian Empire by Extant. Here we go. It's beautiful. Feeling very lured in right now. So atmospheric, fuck. Those marching drums are really good. This is such a fantastic opening. Not only for this song, but for the compilation as a whole, you know. Hello, hello. This is amazing! What the fuck? Man, I almost don't want it to get heavy at all. Maybe that is what's going on here. Okay, very grand and triumphant. That's stunning! Genuinely beautiful. The composition, the choices of direction. Don't know if it's my speaker, but there is a slight part of me that thinks it could have been mixed a bit louder, the whole thing. Might be different when I hear it on headphones, but my word. That was completely, genuinely stunning. I did not see that coming, really, honestly. Such a blissful way to kick off the compilation, and just really, really lovely. Such a fantastic combination of different elements and types of instrumentation as well. Yeah, just really so organic and pure as a thing, as a track, as a body of work. But yeah, fuck, that was lovely. Moving on. Next up, we have Reanimation by Clipper. Kept us waiting a little bit. I like that. Reminds me a bit of that remix he did last year. I can't remember what it was a remix of, but bright, you know, reaching up to the heavens kind of feeling. Still got that Clipper gnarliness beneath it, you know. Percussion could be a bit sharper all round, but I like the idea. It's, as I said, full of life and invigorating. Not massively sure on the musical direction of it, but as I said, I like the in-your-faceness of it, and I think that's something that Clipper has kind of mastered over the last year or so. Here, I think, in the kind of interlude moments, it's a bit more sure of itself in its musical direction. Snare just needs a bit more body beneath it, just a bit more of a punch. But again, I like the in-your-faceness of it. It's quite startling and yeah, just very loud, but in a quite a controlled way, you know. This one for me just didn't have quite as organic and genuine a melodic feel. It didn't engage me quite as much as stuff from him before in a musical way, particularly in the heaviness. I think it was a bit better in the kind of interlude moments, you know, introduction, midsection and more, but not as much there as with before and usual for him. Not bad, decent. After that, we have Malevolent by I7 and Zayes, I want to say. Maybe pronouncing that wrong, but yeah, here we go. Bit of D&B. Ooh. Interesting. Very interesting. I like the idea. It's got a kind of night punky, ravey feel to it, you know. As a mix of elements here, I'm really liking it. Could do with a bit more, yeah, thwack and smack on that. You know what I'm gonna say. Really liking the style though. Really, really liking the style. Sweet melody as well. Pretty sweet. Those piercing sounds, those kind of chimey, abrasive ones, they're just so good. That boo, 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 boo. This bit falls a bit flat comparatively, you know, not really doing all that much. Many, many good sounds on show there, and I love the overall style and approach of that one. Yeah, a decent number. Okay, next up, Sunset Overdrive by Audio Weapon. Here we go. This one seems considerably louder in terms of the mixing. Had to really turn it down. Ooh. Oh, bro step vibes, let's go! Man, those sounds, some of those sounds are fucking sick. Those little triple digga, yeah boy! Man, if it was one thing I would say, I mean, you know what I would say. That snare could just unleash everything so much more with a bit more kind of smack and body to it. Really don't want to sound like a broken record, but it is the only thing I would change there, literally. That percussion, not quite the one. That timing, all of that, fucking so good. But the backdrop does need to be solid and impactful enough to kind of make all of that, or give all of that the necessary platform, if you get me. Yeah, pretty good bro steppy number there. For the most part, kind of music that I miss in this genre. I canny lie. Next up, we have Sneer by Darla. Here we go. Okay, as you can see, different shirt and a different lighting and camera angle, I think, maybe slightly. But basically what happened was that after I'd filmed my review, which you guys are a little bit of the way through now, I was informed that the version of Sneer by Darla, which was uploaded to Spotify, was the wrong one. So yeah, just gonna film it again here using the actual real version, the proper one, which is from the original SoundCloud link, which yeah, I'll just use now. If you heard the comp on Spotify in the first couple of days of it being out, that particular song, no others, just that one, Sneer by Darla, was the wrong version. So yeah, might be different now, Thursday by this point, check it again. But yeah, as I said, just gonna give another live review here, separate from the main review I filmed earlier, of, yeah, Sneer by Darla, and just work it into the main part of the review. So yeah, here we go. The machine is waking up. Oh, here we go already, come on. Oh! Oh! Really liking the dynamic between everything here. Really like playing off each other so well. Woohoo! Shit, son! Those lasers are fucking me up. They really are. There is a part of me that thinks it could have maybe developed and progressed a little bit more in the progression, but no, some amazing sounds on show. And it's clear, production is sharp, snappy. Not quite as impactful for me as the first drop, but sounds like that. Not gonna lie, from what I remember, definitely enjoyed that more than the original version, or completely different song. That was sharp, snappy, to the point, not too long, and again, one of those that kind of knows what it's good for and just runs with that. And yeah, statement making, well produced, clean and emphatic, powerful. Some fantastic sounds on show as well. A nice, compact and to the point, insistent, forthright number. Following that, we have Rivet Punch by Face Split. Okay. Really nice kind of synth wavy feel to it, spiraling out of control. Nice. Liking the incisive feel of that, like cutting quite deep, dagger-like, just kind of piercing at you. Does need that, again. I mean, you just can't ignore it. Good idea, though. I do like that dagger-like approach, you know, quite insistent. Picking up quite well, but initially just not really sure what he was going for. I think the second time around you kind of appreciate the idea a bit more. I thought it was going to build up to something else there for a second, but really riveting stuff there, perhaps appropriately for the title of the tune, and yeah, points where I think could have maybe, you know, put in a bit more and just filled a few more gaps. Nah, some very finely cut and dagger-like stuff there. So yeah, again, pretty decent standard going on here. Okay, moving on, DeLion, Lost Connection. Nice. Quite intergalactic feel to it. Feel like I'm kind of voyaging through space, you know? Oof. Quite gnarly, quite beastly, quite large. Yep, liking that about it. Oh, yeah. I think in the kind of general context of that approach of music, you know, that style, I think it's really good. But I think for him, I've heard him be a bit more inventive and, I don't know, just kind of creative with that sound, whereas this tune just feels a bit straightforward in its ideas. You know, some good sounds in there, keeps you on your feet as the listener, but yeah, quite simple in the idea for me. Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, I feel like I've heard this kind of song from him. For him, yeah, not much new, I would have to say. A comment on the high standard he's reached in the last couple of years or so. Okie dokie, then we have Rebirth by Chronomical. Not my kind of idea, if I'm being honest, you know, just a bit too full on and a bit much. Not really having anything to kind of, you know, latch onto and kind of remember. You see, I can appreciate for what it is that it's good, but in terms of me, like, getting into it and, you know, finding stuff to kind of remember and move along with, not easy, basically. Just a bit bereft of flavour for me, personally. I mean, no doubt there'll be people out there that love it for the horrifying approach, you know, quite scary almost, and frightening, and just how full-on and outright heavy it is. But for me, it needs something for me to kind of cling onto, if you get me, and stuff that will make me remember it, as opposed to just full-on heaviness, you know, like an idea or a motif or something vocal or melodic, you know, anything like that. But yeah, that would have to be my thoughts on that one. Then we have Decay and Forfeit with Shadow Isles. Here we go. Quite mystifying so far. You can feel the heaviness kind of simmering and bubbling below. Oh! Oh! I'm liking that. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to, like, little things to remember, little motifs like that. Just little things that make you remember it straight away. Those kind of ideas are what get you into a track. Oh! 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 Ow! Ow! My favourite percussion here so far as well, for sure. Them marching drums, though. Oh. Those ding, ding, ding. They're so good. Little changes as well for the second drop. Really nice. Note placement differences, you know. Yeah. This one is fucking me up. Has an idea, runs with it, little changes where we need them, and percussion, backdrop, really quite decent. Nice sense of story and allure to it in the sections surrounding it. So, not to mention also the classical influence, which I think is a very nice addition as well. So yeah, I think for me a pretty complete and full sounding number here. Lots and lots going for it. Sorry for the bad language, but it's fucking me up. After that we have Abhorred by Agony. Here we go. Not a bad idea, but you can hear there the mixing and the kind of mix down into it just wasn't quite on point. Yeah, you can hear a lot of those elements kind of falling flat and not being quite fleshed out enough to kind of have the desired impact, if you get me. Some good sounds here, they just deserve to be realised and fleshed out and actualised far more. I like those sounds a lot. I like them a lot. Ooh, hello! Really quite fresh and pronounced. The contrast between the build and the fake out and the drop just isn't quite apparent enough, basically. Imagine that, but with way more just beefiness and colour behind it would be fucking incredible. Next up, Chokeslam by NAWTY. Here we go. Ooh, is it a ridimy little banger, is it? Those little gurgly kind of swampy sounds in the background are fucking delicious. And I like the mechanical and industrial approach here. Yeah, quite metallic. The percussion does just need a bit of refining. The snare folds in on itself a bit, but the liveliness of it, I'm fully on board with. I'm liking that about it. Some of those winding down sounds as well, the kind of they were just the thing again of that percussion needing way more definition to it for the idea and the sounds on top to be fully unleashed, because there's some really good stuff on top, as I've mentioned already. Runs the risk, I think, a bit, that one, of just becoming a bit stuck in itself, and yeah, the sounds just becoming a bit of a clump and no real ones kind of shining through at points properly. That thing again of execution, but a lot of good to work with going forward, no doubt. Alrighty, then we have Decay again. Okay, Decay again with Raid this time. Yeah, let's go. That is mean, man. That is mean. That was a clean intro. Here we go, building up to the drop. Oof, there's a love them, love them. It's a pretty straightforward spin on the old tear out gargantuan large approach. I think that fucking stopped me in my tracks a bit. Like the kind of stop-start jagged approach he's got going on here, which we saw in the collaboration earlier as well. And it points a really good dynamic between sounds, just kind of firing off in all directions and taking your attention this way and that. But yeah, the main idea there, not bringing that much new to the table for that style, I have to say. In the grand context of that style, fucking hell, this is mind-melting, this bit. As I was saying, in the grand context of tear-out music, it's pretty good. But for him, in terms of invention and overall doing something new with that style, I'm not sure the main idea is, you know, something completely new for that style of music. But, you know, again, feel free to tell me I'm completely wrong. After that, Violence by Prime. Let's go. You know what? Prime is very good at a scenic, atmospheric kind of introduction with a lot of scope to it and quite dramatic and classical, which is what we're getting here. Again, it's one of those where there's not quite enough contrast and difference in impact between the build and the fake out and the drop, which again we just heard there. The sounds here are nice, and I like that kind of, I mean, it probably isn't vocal chopping, but it sounds like it. And it's got a nice dynamic between sounds, and the energy is there from that, but there just isn't enough of a contrast for me between the builds we get and the fake out, any kind of fake out moment, and the drops themselves. Yeah. Oh, little change in percussive structure, here we go. You see what I mean? Like, the idea, I think, is quite good, quite a striking idea, but the transitioning into that heaviness just isn't quite there for me. Some great sounds though, like fucking hell, those are decent. It's all about the execution here, and just the transitioning into the heaviness is not quite there. Okay, moving on, we have Construct by Midnight. Lego. I like that, really liking the angling there of all of the percussion. Oh! Oh! Very Dr. Ozzy feel to it, very Dr. Ozzy, which is up there with the best comparisons you can get, really. I like the chunky feel of everything here. It's quite thick and quite saturated in a way. A little bit overblown with the percussion and some of the synths as well. Just a little bit kind of, yeah, stodgy. Just a little bit. For the most part, I find myself appreciating that chunky vibe, you know, just quite thick and kind of bursting at the seams kind of vibe. Yeah, I mean, a pretty simple tune, quite to the point. Doesn't kind of go off in any random or weird directions, which I think a few have here. Knows what it wants to do and just delivers that idea. And no real beating around the bush, and some decent percussion and production overall, considering the idea he's going for. So yeah, not squeaky clean, not pristine in any way, but yeah, I think for what it is, pretty good. Following on from there, we have Shift by Sora and Severe. Okay, this should be decent. Let's go. Sharp, that's snappy, I like it. Ooh! A lot of fresh sounds here, as you can hear. Those very clean, very sharply done. Ooh! That was a lovely development. Well, fuck, that is a lot of fun. I'm liking that a lot. Oh, it keeps going. It keeps delivering a new sound, just creeping around the corner all the time. Oh! Oh my... It just keeps going. It just keeps giving you more and more of the heaviness. Fucking hell. These sounds, man, they are so fresh. And finally, we have a midsection. The colour of that sound. A few of these songs, like, there's just no outro at all. It's just going full on with the heaviness and then just stops straight into the next one. But fresh, colourful, bright and well produced. Snare, I think, again, could have had a bit more, just a bit more smack and kind of thwack to it, just to unleash everything even more. Could be sharper, just, yeah, refined a bit more. But I mean, for the most part, those evolutions and mutations in the drops just fucking good. Okay, next up we have Amoons and Blaster, which is a very cool collaboration and kind of duo we have here. And the song is called A, just a capital A. Could be I suppose, but I assume it's A. So here we go, Amoons and Blaster, A. A! Oh, 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 okay. Oh, wow. I did not see that coming. I'm liking that idea. I'm really liking that idea, actually. It's the kind of idea that shouldn't sound good, but somehow it does sound really good. Me personally, I definitely preferred the more delicate approach. Whilst I do enjoy the more full-on development here, I think, yeah, the percussion again just doesn't quite back up what's on top enough for me. But man, that first drop was so interesting. Like, for one, I thought it was going to be some kind of Mumba drop, the way it built up. When it came, I was just like, wow, this is like a bit tinny and thin, but it worked. Like, as a combination of elements, nothing really felt out of place, weirdly, you know? Tap, 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 tap. Do you know what I mean? Like, could have done that. Yeah. This stuff is, oh, jumpiness. Some stuff in there was so good, like, fucking hell. I just don't expect the sound that is so kind of light and bright and feathery in a way, and quite scything and sinewy as well. But not with that big a backdrop beneath it. You kind of expect that you won't be that much into it because it won't throw you properly. But my word, points where it tried to get a bit heavier and a bit more full-on, like the progression in the first drop, for example, that didn't quite work. Beyond that, some really good stuff, and I've been liking them both individually for a short while now, you know, a few months or so. And as a combination, as a duo, yeah, in many ways they have provided. Okay, moving on, we have Cryptic by Wellen. Oh, it's swampy. It's a swampy mechanical one. Oh, this is mad. This song is mad. I think this one is another classic example of amazing sounds on show, and the production is actually quite fresh, but there's just nothing for me to kind of get engaged in and kind of remember, hang on to, and stuff that's going to make me want to get into it and just listen again and again. It's manic. It's the production is very good for the most part, but there's no idea running through it. There's nothing that I can really get into and kind of remember. Okay, 5 to go. First up, we have Kaiju by Tom the Freak. Let's go. Rhythm. Ooh, okay. Yeah, there we go. A little idea, a little motif. Again? Yeah, come on! Oh, woo! That stuff in the background is so good. I'm liking this one. I like the way it's built, the way it kind of progresses and doesn't do too much. It's just kind of chill the way it develops and moves from one section into another. Just having that one idea to hang on to and kind of keep hold of as the listener. That... Ooh, yeah, boy! I love those little touches in the background. They're so good, so well done. Just so chilled as well, the way it transitions from one section into another. Intricate is the word I was looking for, just intricate, detailed in the background there. Memorable without trying to do too much, and yeah, impactful and emphatic for the idea, and quite low-key at the same time. That one is good. Alright, after that we have the Swing On Me VIP from Twin Adder. Yeah, let's go. I haven't said anything up until now because I'm enjoying it quite a bit, basically. Love the sharpness of that sound, man. Fuck, it's so invasive. That is colourful, that is cheeky, that is bright, that is sharp, that is just... Oh, whew. That drawn out sound, that little I love this bouncy rhythm kind of style. It's just, it works so well when it's done right. Another example here of just knowing what it's good for and running with it, really running with it. Not a large tune by any means, but fuck me, with the contained nature of it, you know, not venturing too far beyond the delicacy and sprightliness of that sound. It just really works, and the colour, as I said, the brightness of it, it works. It really works. Okay, final three now, and first up we have Flex by Rep Ranger, I think, yep, and Big Lou. D&B. I'm listening, I'm listening. Oh, fuck yeah! Oh, fucking hell, that is savage. I was kind of thrown by that vocal sample, I can't lie. The Prepare Uranus, and I did. I mean, I had to prepare it from this savagery right here. This one is full on. It's really kind of glaring and in your face. It just keeps going. It just fucking, it's unrelenting. It doesn't stop. For me, there's an extent to which I feel it's not quite getting into its stride. There are points like that where it's unleashed a bit more, but for the most part here, this tune just felt a bit constrained and held back in terms of its idea. That was so full on and relentless that I'm still just trying to kind of wrap my head around it. Vocal samples are class as well, I like those, but for me the idea never quite, you know, fully gets into its stride. You know, there are points where the sound is unleashed a bit more and we get some more, or some better layering, if you will, but yeah, also points where the gaps are quite obvious and it just doesn't quite have enough pushing it forward to really get you into it. The gnarliness of it I enjoyed, and the full throttle delivery as well. Going forward with stuff like that, yeah, decent. Penultimately, we have Abyss by Mask. Let's go. Okay. Was that a drop or a build? I assume it was a drop. I mean, the transition into it wasn't great. Fell quite flat when it transitioned into that moment, but maybe it's about to burst into life here. Who knows? General execution on the whole just needs, yeah, far more freshening and beefing up. Just, yeah. Not a bad idea, some good sounds in there, but production overall just doesn't quite have that rounded feel to it, if you get me. And finally, my word, here we go, the final one. Infra Salutis by Redacted. Oh. Oh. Oh, 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 oh. That knocked me right over. Fucking hell. For me, quite abrasive and just a bit too full on for the ears for me. Yeah, saw it coming. Oh, that was one of the best little snippets I've heard in the whole thing. But the rest of it is just so, like, overblown and... Not gonna lie, guys, it's fucking hot. I am melting over here, so I'm just gonna try and keep this as short as possible. It's always difficult, I think, to summarise with a compilation with so many different approaches on show, and that is especially the case here. You know, loads of difference and variety, which I think works for the compilation overall, but does make my job difficult in terms of kind of making whole points for the thing as a project, the compilation. I think I enjoyed the non-heavy stuff here a bit more than the heavy stuff for the most part. You know, the music with a bit of scope and classical influence as well, and I think that kind of stuff serves as a good reminder that Interval is about so much more than just the heaviness, you know. But also, I think I would have to say, a lot of the heavy stuff I really enjoyed here, well, most of it, wasn't so much outright heavy as cheeky and playful and bright and bubbly. So that's another way of kind of saying that the non-heavy stuff was my favourite stuff here, and the stuff which I got most out of on the compilation. Also, I think here a few that are good for what they are, but could have pushed a bit further with their ideas and invention, creativity and whatnot. But nah, again, for me, another classic compilation here in being not quite a mixed bag, you know, a bit better than that, but maybe surprisingly the lighter stuff I preferred to the more outright heavy material here, barring, for example, the Decay and Forfeit tune. But nah, overall, another fucking good comp here from Interval, you have to say. And for what it's worth, my favourites here come from Extant, Decay and Forfeit, Sora and Severe, Amoons and Blaster, Tom the Freak, and Twin Adder. But yeah, there we have it, my initial thoughts and reaction to the new compilation from Interval Audio, 4th Interval. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. But what did you guys make of the compilation? Do you have a favourite or favourites from the 22? Let me know all of your views, thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. But beyond that, keep it naughty. If it's naughty, then you know. And I will see all of you legends in the next one. Peace!